Hello everyone and welcome back. Hope you're well. Alright guys, today we're going to look at a watch from one of my favorite watch brands out there. In my opinion, Orient offers great value for money with most of their watches. But before we start with the video, if you like this channel and like my reviews, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave a comment and help in keeping this channel alive on YouTube. So what do we have here with us today? We have an Orient Mako 2. Now, from the price point of view, I paid 165 Aussie dollars for this watch, which equates to around 125 US dollars. Bought it from Amazon Australia. I'll definitely keep the price in mind when I talk about the good and not so good things about this particular watch from Orient. Let's kick it off with the dimensions. We have a case that measures at 41.5 millimeters across. That is excluding these crown guards and the crown itself. I think that's a great case size for a watch like this, and most people will be able to find a good fit from this case because of that case size. Lug-to-lug distance is 47 millimeters. Again, really manageable. There's a fair bit of curvature to those lugs as you can see as well, so they'll definitely help in finding a good fit. Thickness 13 millimeters. I know it's a bit borderline, but this is an automatic watch, so I'll give it a pass. The lug width is 22 millimeters, so in case if you don't like this stainless steel bracelet from Orient, there'll be plenty of options out there for you to choose from, and you'll be able to find something that will fit this watch easily with that standard 22 millimeter lug width. Material used for this watch, it is mainly stainless steel. The finishing on the case is nice for this price point. We have brushed along the top of the lugs, as you can see, and highly polished along the side of the case, and we do have a signed crown on this one, so that's a nice touch from Orient at this price point. We have mineral crystal on the top and not a sapphire crystal. Again, for the price, I think I'll accept that. The dial on this one is plain black. There's a blue version of this watch as well. I think that has a sunburst effect on the dial, but this one is fairly plain. As you can see, some people might find it boring. There's nothing happening with this dial. There's no texture, there's no sunburst effect. So plain black on with white indices. At least the indices are applied and not just printed on. There is that silver casing or framing around these indices, which follows through to the rest of the dial as well. As you can see, that stainless steel framing around the day and date window, and same can be seen around the hands. I like that red tip on the second hand. I think that adds that necessary color to this dial, so that's a nice touch. From Orient, you got Orient automatic, water resist 200 meters, all printed on the dial. So that's 200 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown and a screwed down case back on this one. So you got the diver's water resistance there of 200 meters at least, but this is not ISO certified, this watch, so I think that helps in, I don't know if that helps in keeping the prices low or on the lower end, as it is with this particular watch as well. But apart from that, the dial, I think it is simple, but it is functional, it does work. There is a minute track on the chapter ring, as you can see. We do have Lume on this watch. There's Lume on the indices, on the hands, and on the and you can see the pip Lume on the bezel as well. The bezel function is really nice. This is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. As I said, the clicking function is nice. It does feel solid. It does feel well made. One biggest problem that I have with this bezel, that it is one of the hardest bezels that I've come across when it comes down to finding a grip. I mean, you know, it's just, I don't know if it's the way it's designed. It is slim. It is not the thickest of bezels that I've come across, but it's just the way it's designed, and it is just not easy to grip. Once you start rotating it, obviously you can rotate the bezel. You will, you'll find a bit more purchase when you are in the motion and you're rotating the bezel, but it's still not the easiest of bezels to find a decent grip. It does align nicely, as you can see. No complaints there. There's no back play at all, so really solid. But I don't know why they chose to go for a design like this when it kind of defeats the purpose of having a bezel on a diver's watch when you can't even rotate it properly, or you can't find a grip on this bezel. So that's the only grief that I have about this bezel. Apart from that, it is really nice. Feels well made, solid bezel, no complaints. Apart from the one I just mentioned earlier. As I said, there's Lume on this watch, so while we are at it, let's just do a quick Lume check. Let me just kill the lights off in the room, and I'll show you the quality of the Lume. So here we go. On its own, as you can see, it does look nice. It is quite legible, and you can read everything, whatever's happening with this watch at the moment. There's no Lume on the second hand, so you can't see what's happening there. But on its own, the Lume looks okay. But let me just put this next to my Seiko SKX. So here you go. Now you can see the clear difference. The one on the left, the Orient Lume, yeah, doesn't feel that solid anymore. The Seiko's Lume is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it is much richer, and it's much legible, and it is still going, while you can see that Orient's Lume has kind of started to fade away a little bit as well, and it doesn't last long, Orient's Lume. But Seiko, on the other hand, going, no problems, still going. Yeah, on the Orient's Lume will start to sort of get lighter and lighter as it will progress further, and Seiko going strong. So I just wanted to show you the difference between a good Lume and not so good Lume, which is on this Orient, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the quality of the Lume. I don't know why they decided to go for not so strong Lume on a diver's watch, but it is what it is. Okay, guys, coming down to this this bracelet. The bracelet finishing is nice on this bracelet. It is mainly brushed all the way through. It doesn't taper down a lot, as you can see. It follows fairly straight, apart from the first link. It is fairly straight. The links are okay. They're held in place with these pins. We've got 4 micro adjustments on this clasp, but the quality is average. It is stamped. We've got a fold over clasp, basic press clasp on this one. Look, to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting a better quality bracelet from Orient at this price point anyway. So at least I'm not disappointed, because I was already expecting an average quality bracelet on this one. This one has hollow end links as well, as you can see. So the quality of the bracelet, I think most people will do better with a third party strap or a bracelet on this one, unless you're not concerned about this bracelet and you're happy with the way it is. Then I think, yeah, go for it, leave it there. But with this 22mm lug width, as I said earlier, most people will be able to find something that they like, and that will fit this watch if you don't like this this bracelet from Orient. So yeah, screw down crown, as I said earlier, 20 meters of water resistance, so but not ISO certified. Lume is not great. Bezel is good. Bezel action is good. The grip is absolutely poor. It's just not a well designed bezel when it comes down to finding a grip. I think the dial could be a little bit better. Could have some kind of texture, sunburst effect to it. It is plain black at the moment, but I think the blue version of this watch has sunburst effect from what I've seen. So that, yeah, but this comes with an automatic Orient's in-house automatic movement, which is your caliber F6922. Offers 40 hours of power reserve, hacking, hand winding, 21,600 beats per hour, 22 joules. Now the stated tolerance on this movement from Orient is -15 to +25 seconds per day, and I happen to have an Orient Komatsu in my collection with the same movement, and that watch is doing much better than these numbers. From last time I checked, my Komatsu was doing around +6 to 7 seconds per day. If this watch does anywhere goes anywhere close to that Komatsu, or does the movement manages to perform anywhere close to that 6 to 7 seconds per day, gaining about 6 to 7 seconds per day, I think I can live with that. Again, these are not the most refined automatic movements. It is an in-house movement, as I said, but not the most refined automatic movements out there. So you will always have that sort of a big gap stated by the manufacturer, as is the case with this one as well, of that -15 to +25 seconds per day. But these movements, in my opinion and in my experience, end up doing much better than those stated numbers. So that's the automatic movement in this watch. So overall, I think the positives weigh out the negatives with this watch, especially considering the price. I'm keeping the price in mind for what I've paid and what you might end up paying for this watch as well. It looks nice. Has an in-house automatic movement, gives you day and date complication, 200 meters of water resistance, screw down crown, screw down case back. The bezel is solid, except except you can't find a decent grip on this bezel. Yeah, the bracelet could be better, but again, it's an inexpensive. It's an inexpensive watch. The finishing is nice, at least on this bracelet and on this case as well. So no complaints there. The crown is signed. So there's a lot to like about this watch, in my opinion. I think the price is justified. At least what I paid for it. That's not the retail price. And with these watches, a lot of the times you'll end up buying these at a fairly discounted price anyway. That's what I've observed and seen over in the past, and that's what happened in my case as well. I ended up getting a fair amount of discount on this watch. So that's the review for you guys. This concludes this review. I'll give you a quick reshot before I wrap up this video. I've got a 7-inch wrist. This watch is not sized, or this bracelet is not sized for my wrist at the moment, but I think it will still give you a fair idea of how this stacks up on my wrist. So let me hold that. Here we go. I think it's a nice looking watch, no doubt about that. Apart from that, dial is a bit bland, if you want to call it. But yeah, I think it's still nice, still a nice looking diver's watch from Orient. Alright guys, this concludes our review. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you with my next video shortly. Until then, stay safe and look after one another. Thank you.